Hey, welcome back to the MTG Rundown. As always, I'm Nick,
I am happy.
And I'm Mike.
and we're going to be talking about some of our favorite alternative formats today. Spoiler, there's really only one. Well, and happy. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's cool.
All right.
That's fair.
Nick,
All right.
what do you got?
So there's a format that was brewed up in Victoria, Canada,
British Columbia.
British Columbia, called Canadian Highlander.
Yeah.
And it is by far my favorite format. And the general gist of the format is it's a 100-card singleton. It has the same ban list as Vintage. And it's 1v1s only. There's no commander, no sideboard, no must, no fuss, color restrictions. It's just you play. The only real restriction in the format is the most powerful cards in the format have a points allocation, and you're only allowed 10 points in your deck. Other than that, it's just a really fun, high-power format where you kind of like just get to brew your own deck and see what works, and you can play pretty much like everything's viable. There's big stompy decks, control decks, aggro decks, mid-range, whatever really you want. You can find a way to make it work, and everybody's playing at the same power level. It's very proxy friendly, and it's just an insanely fun format. I've enjoyed it every time I've played it.
I've literally never played it. Like
fair.
I've heard about it. Like I know what it is, right? Like I
Right.
like, of course I know what Canadian Highlander is, but like, you know, I've like looked at the point system and like, you know, just having the same ban list as Vintage is pretty nice because like Commander is kind of just Vintage but singleton. So
Yes.
like it's just nice to be like, you can play with Tinker. It's just like you can probably play with only Tinker and like not anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to
else.
put Tinker in my deck, and it's going to cost 4 of my 10 points.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do with the rest of the deck?
Yeah.
Because turns out all of the good artifact cards cost points.
Yeah. Yeah. You can put a Black Lotus in your deck. You can do that.
It's 7
It's
points.
7 points.
Unlike Wizards, the Canadian Highlander Rules Committee actually cares about the format, and they adjust their points every year. So the broken cards have points caps on them to stop you from doing the uber degenerate stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Black Lotus or Time Walk, buddy. Pick one.
Exactly. It's because
It's Time Walk every time. It's you put Time Walk on Isokron Scepter and you fucking you rule the world. You rule the world.
It's because unlike Wizards, the Highlander Committee's not trying to sell you cards. They're trying to play fun Magic.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's the point.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Wild how that works.
Crazy that we all play this game for enjoyment. Yeah. Except for those of you that use it like a stock investment. You know who you are. Be better.
Anyways, mine obviously is also Canadian Highlander. It is the best vintage-friendly format I've ever played, but I'm gonna give a shout out to Winston drafting because that's
Oh,
also very
sure.
fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
It is quite simple. It is your standard draft, except that you lay out all 15 cards, and you get to go around and pick a card each, so you know what your opponent is picking, they know what you're picking, and things get very political and backstabby very quickly.
Yeah, just the good old fashioned face up draft.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, so I first picked this cool black card, and then the guy next to you was like, I'm gonna take this Sheoldred, and you're just like, oh, it's on now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, alliances are forged and immediately broken when it's like,
yeah.
hey, if
Everybody devolves into goblins.
Yep.
Real quick.
Hey, leave the removal, man. I'll let you take the duel.
Which is when Magic's at its best, is whenever everybody's got that goblin energy going on, and it's all just like knives out, looking
Just
at each
totally
other.
goblinized.
Absolutely. That's
straight
just-
up.
That's when Magic's the most.
Goblinized Magic players.
Absolutely.
More dangerous than Africanized honeybees.
Every paper legacy event ever. Just a bunch of goblins out there.
There's a bunch of trash people rising from the primordial ooze from which we all spawned.
Shaking their walkers at people. Murktide regions ruined the game. I'm like, all right, dude. whatever.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
hold on. Cut to.
I think I had an entire
I was like,
10-minute rant
yeah,
about this.
cut, just like splice in Nick's entire 10-minute rant about literally exactly that.
For people who haven't seen our press videos, I fucking hate Murktide Region.
It's terrible. It's
Yeah.
It's, I
Why
mean,
don't
it's
you like
well,
2-minute 7/7 flyers, bro? Like, what's the matter with you? Like, do you hate just
on,
hate
dude.
good wholesome Magic?
Oh, come on, dude.
Oh, Delver's fine, but Murktide's too far. No,
I mean-
I agree though. It's Wizards really pushing the envelope with how little can we make the game ender cost is ridiculous.
It's easy. It's one black mana. Every time. It costs 1 black mana. 1 black mana and 7 to 11 of my life points. And I'm okay with that.
Right. Just good old. So there's this
I don't
card
care.
called Doomsday. And it's pretty cool.
Oh, no, I don't care about dude. No. It's 1 black mana. And that card is Reanimate.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
I don't know, whatever the best creature
Yes.
is. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I've seen many games end on Reanimate the Attraction, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, that'll do it.
Well,
Just
I'm out.
through a handful of new cards, you're going to be gaining 7 area lands. And I don't have the path in hand, so you're good. Gotcha.
I'm out. Yeah.
Good wholesome magic as Richard Garfield
Absolutely.
intended.
Yeah.
What do you got for us, Happy?
I am not a big fan of alternative Magic formats. Every time I play them, they unless they're like well established, like Canadian Highlander is, they usually end up being long and exhausting. But
Yeah.
I will say Plane Chase is really fun. Commander Plane Chase is very
Yeah,
enjoyable.
It's a good,
I
it's
like
a good time.
yeah, like it's I mean, you're still playing the game as normal, but sometimes it gets a little wonky.
Yeah, there's just an emblem out there that says everybody's lands tap for double, or creatures enter the battlefield tap.
Yeah.
Or you can only swing or block with 1 dude at a time. It's just fun little restrictions.
Yeah.
And there's only like 2 or 3 planes that are just like, and then the game stops and nobody gets to play Magic anymore. But you can always just play without those specific planes, and you can just cater the deck to whatever your group wants.
Yeah, it's I think Plane Chase is honestly
It's a
pretty
fun
neat.
format with just little bonus fun
Yeah,
sprinkled
yeah.
in there.
Also, do we want to go on the other end now and talk about a couple formats that we really don't like?
So there's this thing called
Standard.
Wizard's Tower.
What?
It's,
I have not heard of this.
It's not great. It's not great.
Is that one of them? They're dandans.
It's one of the it's if I remember it correctly, it's oh god, I think it's called Wizard's Tower, but it is mana producers and then things that cost mana.
Oh, that sounds.
And everybody
awful.
draws from the same
Oh.
yeah,
No.
it's miserable. It's miserable.
That
It took
is-
like 2.5 hours, and it was just me and another guy. I was just like, I just had Pristine Angel,
The
and
concept
he
of
had
that
a
doesn't
flyer, and so I was just like, it's just
This is the way it is.
we just stared at each other for a long time.
I drew 3 swamps, and every creature I draw off the pile is white. I
Yep.
don't know what
Yep.
you want from me.
Yep. Well, no. Cards that produce mana,
Oh,
not lands,
no.
not necessarily lands, but rocks. There are rocks in there. There are mana dorks in there, right? Like it produces mana, and then everything else is this takes mana.
Just. Oh my.
Yeah, it was miserable. It was miserable.
That's.
No. Ew.
In like if it was lands and another pile, like it would be more fun. But even that doesn't sound fun.
It
Like,
was not fun.
At no point in your explanation of that was like, oh boy, I want to do that. Like, no. If anybody ever like walked up to me and was like, do you want to do that?
I watched a man raw dog shuffle a Ragavan into that fucking pile.
They have that, but better. It's just called Momir Basic.
Yeah.
Or it's like, all right, I have 6. I'm gonna shoot for a thing that costs 6. What do I get?
Yeah.
And then you just get chaos, but it's at least fun chaos.
Yeah.
Not like,
And the computer does the randomizing for
Yeah.
you.
Right. No, that. Oh, gee.
you know, I'm gonna give us the whatever the opposite of a shout out is
Yeah.
to every commander variation that people keep coming up with, making it like the next hot thing, and then it fucking dies.
Right.
Specifically, tiny leaders.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. I'll go to bat for fucking
No.
tiny leaders. That format was great. Dude, it was Alesha who smiles at death, and I was just fast.
Right.
Just fast.
That was already my existing commander deck when that format it was
it's
just,
just like-
Taste the Orzhov Scion.
Yeah.
Right.
It was so good.
So we're gonna make a format where everything costs 3 or less, and every red player in the room. Go on.
yeah.
You had yes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it was a good
So
time.
you mean what I was already doing?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, people got really mad when you just contamination locked them in both a regular commander and tiny leaders.
Yep.
And it fucking died because it's like, oh, we're just playing literal legacy.
Yeah.
Right. It I think the only
It was
commander-
neat. It definitely should have died. It definitely it was
Right.
absolutely correct, but like it was fun for about 5 minutes, which
Yeah.
is
a distraction.
more than I can say for a
like-
lot of other things.
It's like the TikTok of Magic. It's like you did it, and you're like, oh, and now okay,
Yep.
I'm over. it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, right. A little dopamine drop. I think the only commander variant that I've played that I've had any real fun in was Oathbreaker, but that was only fun for like the first 3 games, and then we just broke it.
See,
and,
yeah,
and we were like, oh, so that's just what you. Oh, okay,
That's
got
the
it,
that's the
yeah.
problem with Oathbreaker is like
If it was just have a like Planeswalker as the commander, it'd be
Yeah.
fine. But the fact that you get a spell,
I'm fine. I'm fine with it's 60 cards, 20 life, Planeswalker Commander,
Yeah.
4 players,
yeah,
right?
That
Sure,
aspect
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
fine, but
yeah. Singleton,
having
yeah,
the
for
instant
sure, fine.
sorcery,
That's when I'm like,
That's where you
oh, I
lose me.
just
I get
have
Chain of Smog in my command
Yeah.
zone, and you countered it. It's still in my command zone, so guess what
I'll
we're doing
cast
next
it
turn?
again.
Yeah, that's really if you
Shane, my Planeswalker is Professor Onyx. My spell is Chain of
exactly.
Smog. Like,
Right.
we don't need to get. We don't need to talk too much about this.
it's one of those formats where either they need to remove the spell from the command zone
Yeah.
or completely redo the ban
Yeah.
list.
Or like,
Also, why is Mox Diamond not banned? They banned all of the other fast mana, and it was like, no, Mox Diamond. Like, everybody that spent your money on Mox Diamond, you guys are fine. Y'all can have it. And it's just like,
probably because the person who made it has a Mox Diamond.
probably.
Well, like,
See, this is why I like Canadian Highlander. There's no bias like this.
yeah, no, it's just like they're like, yeah, you can have a Mox
all have
Diamond,
Mox
pay
Diamonds.
5 points for it, sucker.
Right, exactly. It's like, we all have Mox Diamond
Yeah.
as long as you want to pay the points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Soul Rings 3 points, get owned.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was
a
a
format where Jace the Mind Sculptor is free and completely uninhibited, and Soul Rings there, and it's just like menacingly.
yeah.
I love it.
Hey, I mean, let's be real. Jace the Mind Sculptor isn't the house he used to be.
Jace the Mind Sculptor is a boomer card. I said it. It's boomer magic.
And not banning us.
It's like Bloodbraid Elf. It's like people looking at it. It's like, I remember when that card was good when I was in school.
I remember we would get repeatedly bought out of Bloodbraid Elves whenever a modern BNR was coming up.
Right.
And then Bloodbraid wouldn't sell, and people would immediately cancel their order. It's like,
Right.
yeah, sorry. They're not
just like-
unbanning her.
And as an additional shout out, Post-Modern Horizons 2 Modern just was not it for me.
Just ban 2019 onwards.
Yeah, it's just. What do you mean you don't like my 80 card Incarnation pile or my Luris pile?
We just petition whoever gets to control the calendar that this is no longer 2023. We're back in 2018 again.
Right? It's like everybody that complains. It's like, oh, all
Pre-modern
legacy.
is actually legit. I'll give pre-modern. Yeah, pre-modern's cool.
Yeah, for sure. I just
No.
want Birthing Pod back.
No,
we
they're-
can't because we keep getting good creatures, so we can't have Birthing Pod ever.
Honestly,
again. Go-
as the modern guy, you can put Birthing Pod back in modern. It's fine.
probably.
Someone
I
tried to
honestly
argue-
feel like it would be too slow now.
So it is. Someone to try. It's just you like.
Well, it's because
it's
like
just
you go to-
consistent,
you
but
go
it's
to-
still.
you go to pod something and they're like in response solitude.
Yeah.
And it's just like cool.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yep.
as you were paid your 4 life to play it, and
Yeah.
activate it, and it's like cool. And I'll swords that. And
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's clearly what they do is they say, all right, everything's unbanned, and then we're just going to have, like, the results of each modern weekly. We're just going to keep banning whatever deck does the best.
That's what they did
until
to
the format's
Pioneer
fixed.
at the start.
Right.
Yeah, just reset modern.
Just let modern be a godless wasteland for like 2 months. Take all of that data and then figure it out.
Oh god, please give me back like original Clamp affinity lists. I just want to hear the shrieks of horror as people realize what that card does when it's not in Commander.
Right. Glimpse of nature.
Oh god. Never mind, I changed my mind. I don't need elves back.
There are people who argue that Splinter Twin should be unbanned. Those people never played against Splinter Twin.
Right. So like Splinter Twin's different than
Yeah.
the because like Birthing Pod, you see it a mile away
yeah.
and you get to interact with it.
I have
Splinter
never
Twin?
like Splinter Twin, like when you see a Pestermite or a Deceiver Exarch, that is sphincter tightening, right?
sure.
That's just like, oh god.
Well, It's like Splinter Twin gameplay is just like draw land go, draw land go.
Yeah,
draw
it's
land,
just-
go, and it's like instep Deceiver Exarch.
It is.
Do you have a response? Okay, okay, no. Draw. land, Splinter Twin, force of negation, force of negation, force of negation.
Yeah.
I win.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're all playing the same. It's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
super uninteractive combo.
Yeah, it's just like you're playing Is It Tempo, which is usually good, so you get all of the best Is It Tempo cards, and also you can just win
Do you mean to tell me that you can
in
just
30 sec. Like I just
do
oops,
you-
I won.
Do you mean that you tell me that you can just put 8 cards in your Delver deck that's already insanely good and just also put an insta-win combo in there?
Yes.
That's wild. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Delver's not even that good anymore.
Yeah. No, it was,
It's only like all of Legacy.
Don't remind me. Well, no, we also have our fair share of fucking initiative still. Redger Initiative, it's better than people thought.
No.
But it's also not as miserable as the mono white build.
No, but initiative is still just a miserable mechanic. But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah,
Wizards-
Sheldon, you should design your mechanics for more than one format mannery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Every-
interesting how initiative probably shouldn't be in Legacy. That's so interesting to me.
Right, for sure.
To me,
Well, it's just like it's such an uninteractive,
it sucks.
and it's the fact that it actively kills your opponent. Like the dungeons were fine because the only one that dealt damage did 1 damage, and it was whatever.
made some
you had to work
skeletons, right?
real hard.
You made some skeletons.
And this one's like, oops, I played the game for 3 turns. Take 5. My free lava axe that's uncounterable. Oops, play a dude off the top, hexproof haste, 5/1/1 counters. Get dunked on, I guess. Oops, just won the game on you. It's like, how did anybody look at that and be like, this is fine?
Because
fine
it was
in-
fine for Commander.
It's because it's fine in Commander, but they're just like,
Just like Monarch.
Yeah, oh.
Just like Monarch, it was fine for the format that it was conceived for, and then, oops, we didn't keep it in that format.
Right.
Yep.
Going back to Canadian Highlander, it's like looking at the Lord of the Rings cards. The new Precon Aragorn is nuts because before Jeskai had 1 card that gave you the monarchy, and it was Palace Jailer, and now they have a card that is infinitely better, costs the same mana, and does the same thing, and turns combat off for your opponent.
There are no bad Aragorns. Aragorn, it just be out here just slaying.
For sure, they're
Like,
all insane.
they're all so good. They're all so good.
Right. It's like, like you got to read them a couple of times. It's like, so just like nobody can block.
Yeah.
Just
Yep. Yeah.
Nobody.
full
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
And even if I'm not the monarch, I still get to pick one thing to not block.
Yeah.
And I'm in the removal colors. That's
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Palace Jailer.
Oh man, that sucks. Yeah.
Right. It's, and then the other one is just, I'm about to play the game so much more than you right now.
Yeah.
Like you're not prepared. For
Do you
how
enjoy this
much
4
more-
mana 4/4 enchantment?
Right.
That
Oh,
just-
that can also attack and block.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't forget. Yeah. It's also a 4/4 body because
What
he
do you-
just don't quit. He just don't quit.
What do you mean you swung into them and they swordged your biggest dude and then made 2 blockers to block your other guys and then killed you on the follow-up turn by casting 2 spells and killing you with commander damage because their commander got +8/+8? Like, what do you mean? Come on.
They gave free giant growths for the green spells.
And that's the worst
That's
option.
the worst option.
The worst option is I'm huge and unblockable
Yeah.
now.
Yep. Anyway, Magic's really cool when people are intentional about designing it.
Right, for sure. Like, because the cards that are designed very narrowly do work really well, and they're super cool, but they're so far and few between now, and now it's so much of a, this will be good in this format. Don't look over there. Don't look over there.
Yep.
We're going to let it over there, but just don't look
For
over there.
no friggin' reason.
Right, and it's just, God, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But all in all, yeah, those are my takes.
Yeah. I think that concludes this day's episode.
Yeah.
Oh, God, we record twice a week now. We're being
Busybodies.
adults, not adults. We're not adults here.
Laborers.
Exploited.
See, me and Happy are on the same boat. Season Music Production.
Anyways, thanks for watching.
Thank you.